Introducing the Art for Change podcast gang. The intellectual Mr. Sapiosexual.
And we are live.
That's all you gotta do, be you. Montana Cobain pulling up in the truck. And Lady Alba with the glamorous power touch. We stream live at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Soul Food Sunday, Motion Monday, and Therapeutic Thursday. And some days in between, switch it. Subscribe and bell on so you don't miss it. But if you do, we on repeat on every major podcast application. Interviews galore and more. Y'all know the situation. So book your seat when we turn up the heat with your Art for Change.
See, now the shit delayed, and I was like, "What's going on?" Because it wasn't playing. So I was to talking, and the motherfucker went to playing. That shit crazy. But nevertheless, how y'all doing, ladies and gentlemen, art enthusiasts and change makers? We are live. Yes. This is Art for Change. I am your host, Mr. Sapiosexual. Today is Therapeutic Thursday, and my co-host in the building.
You already know it's your boy BU, aka hey B Trump today. I'm B Trump. B Trump out here. We out here thugging. I'm doing what I want.
When nigga say he beat Trump today. I love it. So you doing what you want, brother?
Yeah, I'm trumping. I'm trumping all odds. I'm
trumping all odds.
He trumping all odds.
That boy's silly. AB in the building, man. What's going on, AB?
Hey, what's up? How y'all boys doing? How everybody doing? I'm sorry.
Yes. And we cannot forget the queen of the house, Lady Alba in the building. What's up, love?
Hey, what's up, Lady Alba's in here, saucy, spicy, and feisty. For sure.
No, that's right. First and foremost, man, before we get started into our show, how was everybody's day today, man?
It was a good day today. Good productive day. I call it what I call it, weekend eve, because the weekend start tomorrow. Yeah, it's weekend eve.
First three letters of my name, Evelyn.
Evelyn, hey, what I be calling you when I call you? 11.
11.
Like 11.
Yes.
That boy's a fool, man.
Nah, but it was a good day. Only what?
That's a double dose. That's how I interpret it. 11, the 2 1s, double dose.
2-1.
Hey, I ain't mad at
double
that.
Dose.
Hey, double or nothing. Hey, but nah, it was a good Thursday and rolling into Friday. It's good though. What about you, Lady Alba?
It was a good day. You know, it's raining here a lot by actually all day from the top of the morning. Then it paused. And when the pause came in the early evening, I went on out and then got caught up in the rain. But I never mind doing errands in the rain. I never take an umbrella. I just go with a hood or a wrap on my head or a hat and I'm gone, you know. But yeah, I feel like a little piece of me. I told my neighbor, I said, I'm like dirty laundry, but not in the dirty sense that laundry is, but like the laundry that has to go on the wash, go through the rinse, spin, and come out new. That's me. So today I can feel like, okay, I think some of me is coming back, and you know, so it's a new day, and I'm thankful.
That's good.
New day, and I'm thankful. Absolutely,
yes,
absolutely. What about you, AB?
Yeah, I can't complain. Today was pretty productive for the most part. Yeah, it was a good day.
Boy said, all in all, it was a good day.
Say it's a great day.
What about you, mister?
Hey, man, y'all know my motto, man. As long as I'm on this side of the earth, it is always going to be a good day for me, man. I'm blessed and highly favored. I count my blessings and try not to focus on things that I do not have.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you got your
Absolutely.
hair done. I see your hair. Okay.
Yeah.
I
I got
see
to
you.
twitch it up finally. You know what I'm saying? I don't get it done as often no more. Now that the dread's a little longer, but yeah, got it done now. Looking all a little neater and shit.
Looking like a whole bunch of snakes in your hair. You got snakes in the
Exactly.
background. Snakes, just snakes everywhere.
Everywhere, nigga. Everywhere. Be careful, nigga. Might have one of my snakes over there.
I eat them.
He said he eats it. Yeah, I
Uh-oh.
seen you. I seen you. He cut the heads off and everything.
Yeah,
He a
Mhm.
wild, he a wild boy. He real nature life.
I'm a Florida boy.
Yeah,
You
respectfully.
speaking of that, I know in Florida they eat alligator, but it's something my father just told me that was strange to me that he had while in Florida. Dolphin. He's a
Yeah, you
Floridian
got
raised
you're
in the
Niggas
not
eat
South.
dolphin?
supposed
I ain't
to.
know niggas eat dolphin.
That's what I said.
Yes, yes,
I
I
did
they
was
not know
do.
shocked.
niggas eat
I just learned
dolphins.
that this year.
Damn, so the dolphins ain't off limits. Y'all motherfuckers eating everything.
No, it's illegal. Don't get me wrong.
He said
So
no, nigga, you ain't
in
supposed to.
Florida,
Yeah, you
yeah.
can't kill dolphins. Yeah, like,
But he said
um,
some years ago, of course, this is not recent, years ago that he was telling me, and wherever he was at, whatever eatery, they had dolphin there, like fried. He said it was real good. I was shocked.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
crazy.
Yeah.
yeah, it's illegal. But it's not just like everything else that's illegal. It should still get done.
Shit get down.
Mm.
Unfortunately, that's the nature of the beast, right?
Yep.
Yeah. We got an interesting topic, man. A little bit different than what we usually discuss on here, but I mean, this is art for change, baby. So we're gonna talk about anything. It is Therapeutic Thursday, so this kind of goes into how African Americans in America. We're going to talk to us, and we can only speak from our perspective. How we feel about some of these topics that we finna discuss today. Like the first question that we have from tonight. It says, "Do you identify more as an African American or as an African from a Pacific country, and why?"
I identify as African American. Just because I first of all, I've never been to Africa, so I mean, and then, but I know I got the blood in me, but I ain't never been there, so I can't just say I'm African. And I don't even know I haven't learned all of what they know and everything like that, but I also know the American side, so.
Yeah.
I'm American. I identify as American, but
Respect.
African comes from my past roots, so.
Respect that. I respect that. Lady Alva,
Mm.
how do you identify? Do you identify as an African American or do you identify as an African from a Pacific country, and why?
That's interesting. I identify as American and Native American. Why? Because I'm born here in America, and there are American Indian roots coming from reservations, strongly from my father's side of the family, from his father, which is my grandfather. So, um, that's why. That's my why. That's my why. And I'm a country woman. I'm a country woman of this country that has raised and bred me. And
Nothing wrong with
that's
that
what I
answer,
stand
though.
on, no matter what chaos, what goes on, what things, it's all about work and what life gives us. So
Yeah,
that's where I stand in that.
respectfully.
Hmm.
Yes, ma'am. I like that. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
AB.
Yeah, this is an interesting question because I mean, I would identify, basically what your passport go off of. I have a American passport, or whatever country that you live in. Like we're all Americans. Now they distinguish us as like Black Americans, but I still think at the end of the day we should be all considered Americans. We were born in America. Most most people in America have never been to Africa, so it's just like, you know. But I guess I get it. What about you? You'd like to hear your interesting take.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I would have to agree, man. I think I agree with your last viewpoint, man, and same thing that BU said as well. Like a lot of us are not familiar with anything that is from our actual African heritage and cultures. So it's kind of hard for me to say that I can identify as strictly an African when I don't know nothing about Africa. You know what I mean? And I heard something else today from an actual person that is from Nigeria, and they said that only when we're in America are we identified as Africans. He said anywhere else we go in the country, they identify from our actual country in Africa that we come from by the way we speak or the language that we speak. He said only here in America do they categorize every member from Africa as African when instead of saying that I'm Nigerian, you know what I'm saying, or I'm Ethiopian, or et cetera, et cetera.
Good point.
Yes.
Good point.
So to even go even further into the answer, even members from Africa don't even identify themselves as African alone. They more identify themselves as from their ethnicity, from where their actual country is inside of Africa, because Africa is the continent and their countries in multiple countries inside of Africa. Just like United States is America is the continent, and we have multiple states within the continent.
Makes sense to me.
You know what I'm saying? Just the same way as
I'm a
people
Floridian.
Yes, there you go. And I'm North Carolinian, if that's what you want to say. And
Chicagoan.
and not for nothing, Chicago food don't taste like North Carolina food. North Carolina food don't taste like Florida food. The way that they dress in Florida, not the same way they dress in Chicago, and vice versa. The East Coast, West Coast, North, we all are different. We all are American, yes, but we all have different based off where we're from. Different words that we use. You hear a different, and then also when you in America, based off where we hear, we can tell where you're from. We can hear the people. Oh, you from up north somewhere. Say, oh, you from out west somewhere. You from the south. Like you could just hear the twang within our speech. So
now I want to add in, because you mentioned about the different tastes of food. So there is a thing called American food. Y'all know that is different than any cultural food.
Right.
So from my experience, and I've learned that the soul food is very similar to different African dishes, even Latin dishes. It's all like that ethnic cuisine. It has its similarities for people of color. And I definitely can say the Latin and African for sure. West Indian, Caribbean,
Right.
What changes is the herbs and the spices. But me being a chef, so knowing the different cooking methods and all of that, the cooking methods are very similar, some slightly different, and another cooking method element is added on to that basic cooking method. But a stew is a stew. What makes the different taste of the stew from one culture to the next is the herbs and the spices.
That makes sense. I get that. I get that. Moving on right along to our next question, if everybody's finished with that. The next question is, how do you think cultural heritage influences the way Black Americans and Africans view each other?
I'm gonna jump right in there because of what I just said. So with food, that's cultural heritage.
Mm-hmm.
And we have come to view each other differently, and that's because of the robbery and the
Yes.
brainwashery that
Mm-hmm.
that we were put up under. But when you allow yourself, and if you can allow yourself, even here in America, just visit different ethnicities and indulge into their culture in that way and see what you can see that's similar. And then talk about it. Have the conversation. Because I've done it, and I've had some, I'm probably gonna mess this up. Some men from Ghana, do we say Ghanaians? Some men from Ghana that were exchange students, and it was interesting. And I had invited them to my home, and then they had me. I'm setting the table with plates, forks, and what are you doing? Oh, no. Evelyn, bring the beans here and the rice. Bring the pot on the table. And one plate. And one plate. And we all eat from that. I said, really? Okay. So that's my answer to that. Yeah, and
Right.
how we view, and when you have the conversation and indulge like that, then you see that we're not that much different, and we should all partake and to explore how much alike we are to come together better.
I like how you did that. I like that.
Thank you.
I like that. AB, how do you think cultural heritage influences the way Black Americans and African Americans view each other?
I mean, I think in a lot of ways, uh, from just my experience, like African culture, we actually still take a lot of stuff, a lot of cultural, I guess like we still bite off of their culture as well. Even in today's society, and they do the same thing, right? Like, so y'all heard of people like DeVito, or what's that dude name? What's the other dude name? He just had a concert. He signed with Jay-Z and them. I mean, signed with Jay-Z. Burna Boy.
Yes.
Burna Boy.
Yeah. So I mean, they kind of he still have like this like African like vibe, because they big into Afro beats and stuff, which is dope.
Yes.
I love Afro beats, right? I like different types of genres of music, so it doesn't really matter. I feel like we kind of bite off of their culture just as much as they bite off ours, so the influence is equally yoked. I mean, granted, are completely different. You can tell African American, what we consider African American, from somebody that's from the motherland of Africa, because they don't carry themselves the same way we do. Their lifestyle's not the same, right? Like, they don't grow up like we grow up.
Yes.
We consider like a lot of countries are considered like second world countries, right? Second and third world countries. We're considered first world. So you got to just think, technology with our infrastructure has always been a little bit better to a certain extent,
right?
Which I think that we're falling behind, right? We're definitely falling behind, especially living in some other countries, developed ones. But yeah, I think we definitely share. We still share to this day,
I think we share, but I think like American, I think African Americans want that. They want to go back to Africa and get that African feeling, and then you go to Africa and they're like, they can tell you're American. You're American. They could tell. They could look at you and they could just tell. And I think there's a slight barrier with that, because I think there's something that we want to go back to, like from our blood, that we want to go back to that and just learn that. That's how, and I only say that because I want to do that. That's why I say that. Cause I want to go to Africa. I want to learn about it. I want to do all that. I believe AB's been there and everything too.
Yeah. What would you would it be there? Would it be the cultural differences that you would be looking for, or just more of the history?
History.
History.
No, actually both. Both. I want to learn. I want to learn everything about it. Because this is remote.
One of my first time to Africa, I went to Mozambique, and when I got there, I went on this like little tour, right? And when I went on this tour, I was really shocked. First off, I'm in Africa. These people, they speak Portuguese. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Almost like Spanish, right? They speak the same language they speak in Brazil. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't speak nothing else. Like, and when I go on this tour, I'm looking at this statue, right? And it's a white man. Now, no offense, but I'm just like looking at it. It's some Portuguese dude. And this is a historical, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm on a tour.
Like, hey, that's funny you say that, because African does not mean black. I've met a lot of white Africans. Like, African does not mean black. So I've met like white Africans too. So, but yeah, that's where I'm at with that.
Especially South African.
South Africans, yeah, it's a lot of mixed skin colors. I ain't saying racist skin colors, whatever.
Absolutely. I feel like when you go to Africa, you see the most diverse of cultures and colors. You know what I mean? And you will see that, like, everything comes out of Africa. But back to the question. The question was, like, what I'm saying, how do I think cultural heritage influences the way Black Americans and African Americans view each other? I think because of culture, because things that they see, I feel like, I be in chats and lives with other Africans that are actually from Africa, and a lot of them say that they look at us like we're spoiled, and entitled, and less educated. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of them feel like, you get mixed feelings, because I was in a chat with two different regions in Africa, and one man was like, all y'all are Africans, and all y'all are from here, and saying, as soon as you come to Uganda, you are given your citizenship, you are welcome, and you are given land. And then you got another one that was like, y'all motherfuckers is not African, y'all Americans, you know what I mean, and things of that nature. So it was very interesting. I was talking to somebody who was from West Africa and talking to somebody from East Africa, in the same in the same chat, and it was very interesting listening to just how the two different talk, and in their two different perspectives, being from the same continent, but two different regions.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think when you think about Americans, I think the way that they portray African culture, a lot of us think that Africa is poor, and a lot of Africa is a lot more beautiful than some of these cities in America. And I think that you get a false perception of what Africa is if you only look at what the media show you. Would you disagree with that, AB?
Yeah.
Being that you're the only person on the panel that actually been there.
Yeah, I've been South Africa, Mozambique, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Kenya, and I passed through Ethiopia. I never really got out the airport of Ethiopia. But.
And what is your perception on some of the places that you've been?
I think like their major cities and capitals and stuff are just like major cities, right? It's the one of the differences is you'll notice the lack of infrastructure in most countries outside of the major city, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or even inside of the major city, like Zimbabwe. It's like their traffic lights don't work. You just gotta just.
What the fuck?
You gotta work it out.
You'll figure it out, bro. You'll figure out how traffic moves. Like for real. Hey, you get to an intersection, bro. It ain't. It's just an intersection. It's just four.
Hey, treat it like a stop sign. Yeah.
You got to. But you might get hit. Some people don't.
This one says some people go.
He says some people don't. Too funny. True story.
But no, I feel like there's a lot of beautiful places in like Africa there's a lot of beautiful things to see in Africa, right? Yeah. Like one of the only places that you can go and see like a live migration and like like see animals, like stuff that you see on Lion King when we was little. I know, we seen the Lion King. Like they got hotels on top of hills and stuff where you can like watch that stuff, right? I think that's kind of cool. They do have just like a lot of natural beauty, and they're big on most of them are big on tourism, right? But in overall, I would say that resources aren't distributed equally. Yeah, and I would have to say it's like that everywhere, right? Like America, we have a problem with the top 1% owns like 99% of all the resources in America, right? Everybody else, what's left over. It's the same way in other countries. It's just that they don't have the social systems in place that that we've been able to fight for a little bit up to this particular point, right? Okay. And it goes for all categories. Women being able to vote, stuff like that. Like as time goes on, things have progressed or took a turn in a certain way that we hopefully view as positive. But so yeah.
Thank you.
It's beautiful. That's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
It's the motherland.
Yeah.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I mean everything you can find here, you can find there. You know what I'm saying? If you wanted to go and like, go downtown, go to like a little club hop spot, they got places like that too. They got hoods too. You know what I'm saying? They got places you probably shouldn't be running around. Like, especially if you don't know nobody around there, can't just be rolling up everywhere. Just you might get robbed. Like, just like you might get robbed around Fayetteville riding around in the wrong spot.
No, that's for real.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So you still, I think you still got to have that same heightened
vigilance,
smarts, and kind of be aware of your surroundings anywhere you go. The only difference is if you don't speak the language, I mean, and you don't know how these people kind of move, you just got to be extra cautious and stuff.
There you go. We're gonna move on to question 3, y'all. It says,
"How you ever add something into that question, piggybacking off of?"
Of course you can. Let's talk.
Instead, I was thinking to wait until the end, but we gonna have so much talk and so many questions and answers. So AB had mentioned and said about how we bite from the Africans. So that interested me. So just right now, I just wrote something and then I searched it, put my writing in the search to get more to say to the people what I'm saying, what it's meant to say. But what I wrote is the apple is ours to bite. It's embedded in our DNA. It is our right. Just because for centuries the thief came in the day or night doesn't change the right. So to give you the breakdown of that, It's really about describing the appropriation and commodification of Black culture. The apple, which is treated as a resource for others to harvest despite its origins being embedded in the DNA of the creators. The thief coming in the night likely refers to the historical and ongoing extraction of music, fashion, vernacular, this is the most important part, and art without credit or compensation. It says that I am asserting that no matter how much is stolen or rebranded, the essence and the right to that culture remain with those who grew it. That's that.
All right. So
don't be afraid to bite.
There you go. There you go. Off topic. So I was in this chat, this live chat, and they was having a live discussion, and it was and one of the topics that they brought up was the transatlantic slave trade, and they said that that the key word in that is this trade, and they said, who do you think we were traded from? Like who if it was a slave trade, and you know what I'm saying, we was brought here during the trade, who did the settlers trade with to get the slaves?
The Africans.
Bingo.
Right? Yeah.
Bingo.
We trade our own people.
There we go. Now we get into the meat. Now we get into it. Now we get into it.
We ate the meat. We get to the bone.
Now we get into it. Now we get into it. You know what I'm saying? We kind of like sold our own self into slavery.
And then that's where you call it selling your soul comes from.
Yeah.
Like, did we sell ourselves into slavery?
Right. I
Your ancestors. Okay. So so hypothetically speaking, that we all are deriving descendants of Africa, right? And and it was Africans that sold their people into slavery. Would that not be that we sold ourselves into slavery?
But we didn't like them niggas, and they I mean we didn't like them. They were from a different neighborhood, and they were terrorizing us. And we went over there and we had a war and we captured them. And these niggas said, "Hey, we could use them, and we'll give you some of these guns and stuff." Like,
yeah.
we had
I think
people. You know what I'm saying? We didn't like them. So did we? I mean, like, can you blame somebody for not? If somebody that you like, literally, there's been wars everywhere on every part of the continent at the time. So you got tribes fighting each other. You know what I'm saying? You got people fighting each other. It's not like Africa was this one big united place where everybody just saying kumbaya.
Kumbaya. Yeah. So you saying Kenya was beefing with the Somalis, the Somali was beefing, you know what I'm saying, with the Ethiopians. The Ethiopians were beating with the Moroccans. I got you. So
in different cultures, you know what I'm saying? Like, even in Kenya, they're broken up by they're very tribal. Like, a lot of African cultures are very tribal. You know what I'm saying? You know if somebody belongs, they know by speaking to somebody what tribe they belong to.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? They be like, "Oh yeah, we don't really fuck with them. Like, we fuck with them, we don't really fuck with them." Their politics are dictated by, you know, tribal rights, right? Like, certain tribes hold more power and they keep it within the tribe. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
They keep the law within the tribe.
Got you.
That's why you have all these. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, trade being the focus word, as you said, mister. I think we got deceived by the trade. The trade was to benefit. You know, you send your person from your family off to the people who are colonizing us to gain something more. They're going to get to go to this land, and then it's a trade of some profit is supposed to happen. Nobody expected to be enslaved in the way they did it.
No,
I think that was initially the idea, and that is what trade is about.
Hold on.
Trade is a give and receive. You trade something to receive something. You give something to receive something. We were duped in the receiving.
Well, it started out they was already slaves, right?
Huh?
No, they were already slaves, right? It wasn't like these people, like it wasn't like they were all happy and just like, yeah, we're just gonna let them go over there. No, they were already slaves. They were slaves to another African nation that already enslaved them. So that trade, I feel like that trade was mutual. Then it became, oh, we can be mercenaries. Now we can just go capture people and we can make a profit. We can make our lives better if we go capture people that we don't like already.
for our tribe.
For our tribe.
for benefit. It's misuse of power. It's the same thing that's happening today over and over again. And then you have to understand some families being impoverished or not doing so well, if you will, and wanting more. So you send your kid off to work over here to this land. The expectation was not for your kid to be abused. But that's what they did. But just a little literature, let me add in here. The history of the transatlantic slave trade is complex and often oversimplified. While some African rulers and merchants participated in the trade, the idea that Black people sold themselves is a misleading shorthand that ignores the systematic pressures and lack of unified Black identity at the time. It's a lot of layers.
Respect. Yeah. But once again, I had a conversation with AB earlier. You just read that, right? Who'd you get that from? Who they get that from? How we know that we're saying right there is accurate? You know, and so that's my issue with a lot of things that we hear, a lot of things that is told to us. You know what I mean? Without concrete evidence, without you giving me something that you can prove, everything that we are taught is just theory.
True. Yet I choose to be an optimistic person, so I'm going to lean to that way. Being a Black woman, I cannot even wrap my head around that. Let me say a Black family or Black people of righteousness are going to sell their children or loved ones and say, yeah, go ahead and shackle them. We don't care. That's not who we are. Foundationally, that's not who we are.
Well, ma'am, I would beg to differ because I would beg to differ. Do you remember the story of the Pharaoh? Do you remember the story of Moses letting the people go that were in bondage because they was enslaved just to build the monuments for the Pharaoh? That was that's speaking to your language because we're speaking because you know saying you're a God-fearing woman, so that's biblical.
But can I ask you this? So they were traded to go build the monuments. Was the expectation to be enslaved?
They wasn't. No. What I'm telling you is what I'm speaking on is when Moses let the people go. When Moses saved the people that were in bondage, they were in bondage. They were slaves. It wasn't no. They were forced to do this. This is why God saved them. This is why God freed them from the Pharaoh. This is why He brought the plague. So you're saying that that's not the nature of our people, and I'm telling you that I would beg to differ because that is definitely the nature of our people. It has been proven, even in a biblical aspect, that is just.
I think I'd still disagree. I think that's argumentatively so. I'm still going to disagree because that becomes abuse of power. It is not our nature to do so.
I respect that. I think that's an opinion and not a fact, though.
So when you say our nature, does that mean like just African culture nature, like
meaning nature, the core of who we are, the seed that is planted, that is planted to establish fruit and fruit on top of fruit on top of fruit. But there's always disruption. There's always corruption. There's always going to be one. And all it takes is one to start that train wreck.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, this is an interesting topic because
Hey, because I was about to go the fuck off, but hey.
what you got over there, B? Talk to me, brother. Talk to me.
No, because I get both sides, but I get what you're saying. This is like, yo, this shit been happening. It's like, yo, it's not. It was happening inside before it started outside. Yeah, so I get everything. I get both sides actually, but this is interesting. Let's get deeper.
I mean, let's talk about it. I mean, because the thing about it, and the thing about it is history repeats itself, right? You know what I mean? And I was all for the Willie Lit syndrome, and I do respect the fact that we have a lot of things that is indoctrinated. I absolutely agree with, and that is proven. I that has been shown. You can show me that, I can believe it because it's facts. But I feel like a lot of things is a lot of things that we are learned, a lot of things that we look up and research is theory because it cannot be proven. You know what I mean? And that's my issue with people that speak from a place of fact when it's just their strong opinion. You know what I mean?
I also agree with what you said
well,
earlier.
what takes for you to that something is proven? Because if you say that, like that's such a blanket, what to my ears, then nothing is proven. But for me and what I read, yeah, it's something I research, and I don't research just anywhere and everywhere. I have specific things that I do. But it's also historical from reading and watching different things and listening to different cultures. And there's even a thing that's known that Black people didn't even call themselves Black. We identified ourselves from the land we come from, as you said earlier, or the tribes that we belong to.
There you go, bingo, absolutely.
And who'd you just learn that from? No, my bad, mister. But like, I'm gonna believe AB over any article I see because he's been there like multiple times all around, and then he knows he can fact check things after reading it online or what he's been telling us because he's been there all around Africa.
Mm-hmm. Well, reading is not just online. Reading is coming from literature, which books, softback or hardcover. And some of our other historians and legends, and definitely Black people who have dedicated their lives and have been there and all over multiple times and bring the information to us.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
I like that too. Actually, that was a good response.
Thank you very much.
I'm gonna jump ahead a little bit. It says, have you ever encountered stereotypes that affect your perception on Africans or African Americans?
In construction, yes, definitely for 100%. Only in construction, if you got an African in construction, I've seen it. People feel like they feel. I'm not saying they feel like.
E-Man, like what's up, E-Man?
If you want to hide something from Black people, put it in a book. Yeah, they say
because we don't read, known for not reading.
Look, African people don't consider themselves Black. There you go. Look at that.
Exactly that too. Yeah, lost my train of thought. But yeah.
You finished your answer, B?
I think he said he lost his train of thought.
I lost my train of thought.
I think so,
right.
yeah.
The last two comments, he's right. Like, he's right.
Yeah, man.
I felt a sense of disconnection from African culture. And I don't classify myself, I've never have as an African American, but as a Black woman in this country. It went on for many years. I don't find it as strong this century as I did some decades ago, and like in Harlem, because Harlem became, a lot of Africans came and went to Harlem and they started their businesses there. And there was a lot of the weaving and hair braiding, mostly hair braiding before even the weaving. And you can tell that they had an issue with us. And it goes back to what you said early on, mister, is that we're lazy. Because see, Africans, and just the same though as our ancestors, our some of us, our grandparents, great grandparents, great great grandparents come from the fields. They know what real work is. Picking cotton, you know, whatever, strawberry picking, all these things. They hands and knees, they know what real work is.
Civil
like the
movement.
Africans do still in, I'm gonna say, in the 80s and 90s and stuff, you know, and still to this day. So it was a disconnect because we come over here spoiled, and then it's things that we didn't know culturally that they came over here and knew, like the fabulous hair braiding, how they can crown your head up, you know, and then certain things, you see some of them weaving baskets with straw right there, you know, all these things that we had no idea of. And it was like it was almost like a disgust, and like the African make you feel like you can't. And they do this thing, the African, with how they suck their teeth and it's long drawn out. Even the Islanders do that, Caribbeans, you know, like they're sucking the teeth. You hear, and it's drawn out. But you know, it was definitely a disconnect like that. And we went, I remember I was younger, much younger, still like a teenager and stuff. So I remember my elders, and it was such a hard time for them. And then they didn't like the Africans, you know. So me experiencing all of that, I just would go in the door literally, and I may still do it today if I see a shop that interests me, and I'm like, oh, and then they look at me. Sometimes they don't speak. They just look and then keep doing whoever, you know, what they doing. And then I have to say hello. So right there and there, I'm like, okay, the disconnect is still here. But then they say, can we help you? No, I'm not sure. So I'm asking some questions, or I'm just in here to see what's going on and see what y'all doing. And see, that's the stuff that I do to kind of break that barrier and help that disconnect to start. It takes for both sides to learn about one another.
Yeah, I agree with that. And just to go back to what I was saying is, I do construction, obviously we all know, and I don't see an African digging a ditch. I don't see an African pushing a cart. I don't see an African doing low labor work because they did that over there, and they made it their goal to come to America and live what they think we live. And that's why you see most Afghans are doctors here. They're owners, they're bosses. You see all of that because they did that all over there just to get here. That's why they think we're spoiled. But not knowing that we're going through the same shit they're going through, just at a different level.
Yeah. Yeah.
They bite the apple.
Yeah. You know, over there it's a lot about ownership. It's no credit. You know what I mean? So, you know, so they think that, you know, we're financially illiterate, which a lot of African Americans are. You know what I mean? And so I was also, and so another topic that was in this chat was, are we African? Are we simply Americans? Are we the original indigenous people? And then there was a statement where someone read an article where they said that Native Americans were highly melanated, and they were they were classified as Africans because if we told them that they were Native Americans, then they would fight for their land. But if we told them that they were Africans, then they wouldn't give it. There would be no need for them to fight for it. So they was reclassified as Native Americans. Reclassified as Africans when they was actually Native Americans. And then there's another guy that said that the capacity of the boats could not withstand the numbers that they said they brought over. They said he's not denying that the transatlantic slave trade didn't happen. He said, but he believes that the large numbers that they say are highly fabricated,
Mm.
and that most of us were already here because either Africans had already settled here, and we were now then the indigenous people of this land or native people of this land, and more of us that the Native Americans were more of a darker pigment, and therefore were often classified as African to be enslaved.
Yeah. We constantly keep having these conversations like this, and it's like it's the song that doesn't end. Yes, it goes on and on, my friend. Because of the classifications that was done, because of the breakup of this land and that land and this land and that land. So that's why we're constantly having these discussions, almost like, what am I? What are we? So when we go along to the classifications, I believe that wherever you're born is what you classify yourself as. You're born in America, you're an American. Now to take it to the next tier beneath that, what city, state are you born in? And that's what you are. Originally, we're all African. We come from African descent. Period. But now I'm also going to ask with this question that you're asking, what does it mean I'm African? What does that mean if you are African? Because earlier you said even the Africans don't say they're African. They say, I'm Zimbabwean, I'm Ethiopian, I'm Ghanaian, I am, So what is African? So it's a lot of the classification that we know where it comes from, and it's still being done.
It's an indoctrination.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's something that's been embedded into our way of thinking, and so now it becomes natural verbiage. Now it's nothing for us to call each other white, black. You know what I'm saying? That right. Mexican, that Puerto Rican, that right. Black guy. You know what I'm saying? That white man.
Nigga.
You know what I mean?
Nigga.
Right.
Because you know what I'm saying? It's funny because the West African, the guy he was saying, he was like, what's funny? He was like, he said they call us all African when we come here in America, but if a person is from Germany, they don't call him European, they call him German. If a person is from from Paris, he's French. You know what I mean? So he said
Italy,
so it's funny.
Italian, yeah.
He said so it's funny that the Europeans identify as their country, but as soon as you come from Africa, you consider African,
right,
and not Nigerian.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And he said it's all it's all like a psychological thing to make you feel less than.
Yeah. Look, you praise good. Like as a tennis fan, and I just recently asked this, I think maybe last year, no more than 2 years ago, that we love, anyone watches is a tennis fan. We love Monfils, Gael Monfils. He's such a performer, high skilled. But you would think that he would have more accolades of trophies and that and Grand Slams than what he has. But he goes out there to perform. He's awesome. But anyway, they call him the French man. Black man. Look like us. Look like, y'all black brothers here. And it dawned on me, but then you got another guy who looks like he's Caucasian. He's a Frenchman too. That's what they say, the French man or the French woman. So I had to ask, I actually took it to my father. Well, what in France? So they just say French man and French woman. There's no identification, no matter what your complexion is. You're a French man or a French woman.
And
only in America, excuse me, I'm sorry, B, I mean cut you off. And only in America are you a black woman. Because
exactly.
as soon as you go into another country, you're American.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or the Americans over there. They don't say
the
the Black
Americano.
Americans.
Yeah, right.
They just say the Americans.
Mm-hmm. Some
So
countries will put that on there, though. I've heard of that definitely with the Latin culture here in America, in the communities I live in, and
you
they
said
say
in America.
they
I
may
say when
say
you go out
negro, the
America.
negro americano or americana. Yeah,
Yes,
negro.
yes.
Yeah.
Here in America, yes. When you leave when you leave
Mm-hmm.
out this country, you there's no longer a black
Okay.
or white thing. It's
Right
just
there.
simply American.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's
Mm-hmm.
what I was getting at.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a us over here situation that we
Yeah.
should fix.
I like to think I'm moving more closely myself to humanity. I
And
really
see, there we
believe
go. Ding,
that's
ding,
what
ding,
we
ding,
all
ding.
should do. We should
Yeah,
all just
there's only one
classify
race,
as
the human
human,
race.
and that's it. Once we start doing that, it's gonna cut away all of that other nonsense.
Yeah, there you go. There's only one race, the human race. The thing is, we all come from different cultural, excuse me, different cultural backgrounds.
And that's
Excuse me.
fine to understand that and uphold that. So
Yeah,
we're
we
all of the human race, but what land are you from? Or what
right.
country are you from? That's the next question, you
Yeah,
know.
I cut B you off a while ago, man. Go ahead, speak
No,
up, bro.
no, no. We can continue because there's a bigger question with you just saying humans because you don't want to identify. But what about like the LBGT community, and then they don't want to classify it as that, or we don't want to classify them as humans, or we call them humans as well. There's going to be a bigger uproar with that, which it already is as well. We're all
So,
humans.
Right.
so, I guess if you have a problem being classified as a human, I don't know what to tell you. You shouldn't be called an alien. I don't know what you want.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good answer,
I mean,
Mister.
That is a
uh,
good answer.
Yeah,
I mean,
That is a good answer.
yes.
biologically, you are a Homo sapien.
Right.
So I mean that's what you want me to call you, a Homo sapien. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? I mean, if you want to give me, if we walk around here with scientific names here, you know what I mean? Like, come on now.
So the concept is under one race, humanity is what we all are, and we should embrace one another just on that.
I
With
agree with that.
knowing that we have different characteristics,
Yes,
different flaws, and
cultural
all of
backgrounds.
that.
Yeah,
But we're still of one race, and that's the human race.
bingo.
I
So
agree.
that cuts out the LGBTQ and all these other identifications.
Correct. No
I
argument
agree.
there. I digress.
Yeah, I agree.
We all need to digress. I do too.
Yes, man. So the question that we got started on was have you ever encountered stereotypes that affect your perception of Africans or African Americans? For me, I think so. Yes, absolutely. Because when you see the false perception of what Africa is, and then you actually meet someone from Africa, you know what I mean? The world will have you thinking that Africans are less educated, or you know what I mean, or less articulate. You know what I mean? And some of them are highly educated and highly articulate, and some of them sound more British than anything.
Mhm,
You
mhm, mhm.
know what I mean? So it's like, you know, and I love that AB spoke on it. A lot of people from Africa speak different languages, and a lot of them are Latin languages, you know, or Arab languages. So you know what I mean, you'll be surprised, you know, seeing the different dialects that you hear and Berberish that you hear when you in those regions based off where you at. You know, and the way that the words come off and the way that they use the words, like he said, they know exactly what tribe you from. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of it's not a lot of unity within Africa. It's a lot of individualism within different tribes and cultures. So there's the idea of a Pan Africa, but the Pan Africa is not it's not in fruition as of right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we just spoke on, like all Africans don't consider themselves to be African until they leave a country. They like it's never even because when they're in Africa, like you gotta realize it. Like when they're in Africa, you know what I mean, and they're from their own country, like how they don't call themselves African. they call themselves where they from. You know, so it only makes sense. You know, only it's things that we are only taught here. And I think, and I would highly advise everybody to pick up a book and do some self-education and self-discovery.
Yeah. Can we say, like, even I'm keying in on the word tribe, which I like that concept. Just say, you know, I'm human and my tribe is, you know, such and such. And but I'm thinking now a little more outside of the box, I think, if you will. Your tribe is your family too.
Yes, absolutely.
You know,
I mean, your
the
tribe is
lambkins,
whatever, you know.
the sapiosexuals that live over here, that's the tribe.
That's your tribe.
the BUs that live over here, that's the tribe.
That's
My
your
last
tribe.
name, the lambkins, you know what? That's the tribe.
There you go. There you go. That's your tribe. I mean, and I feel like, on another note, off topic a little bit, you got to find your own tribe. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes
Your tribe may look different than you, believe it or not. And I
Get in
made
where you fit in.
you got to get in where you fit in. I love it. There's I made a post the other day, and I was telling my old lady on the ride home that the reason why I had made that post, you know what I'm saying? I made a post the other day, and I was like, I don't rock with you just because you look like me. I rock with you when you think like me, you know. And it's not to discredit, you know what I'm saying? I'm always pro-black, so it's not to discredit my people in no way, shape, or form, but it's just to say, like, I'm not going to stand with ignorance just because we share the same hue. You know what I mean? Like, we have to be on the same frequency. You know what I mean? And I'm all for educating, and I'm all for helping someone elevate, but you can only do so much, and you can only help somebody who's trying, who is willing to accept your help. You know what I mean? And the harsh reality when growing up was and the most greatest advice someone can ever tell me was like, son, my grandfather, he said, you're not God and you're not Jesus, and you can't save everybody. And he said, and let me tell you something else. He said, the Bible says, who a man curse, no man can bless. Who he blesses, no man can curse. He said, everybody is not meant to be saved, and everybody's not meant to be saved in this season.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
He said, so you can't be bending your, you know what I'm saying, bending over backwards for other people, you know what I'm saying, trying to be a blessing for other people when it's not their time to be blessed. Now, God said, be a blessing to be a blessing. So that's not what I'm saying. I don't want nobody to twist my words and say that I'm not saying that you can't be a blessing to nobody, but you can. But he did say that you can only help people that want to help themselves, because some people just want to hand out, and if you're just dealing with people who just want to hand out, you're gonna keep giving and giving and giving, and until you ain't got nothing to give, and all they're gonna do is go to the next person.
I also know, adding to what you're saying, you help people that God sends you to help, that God gives you conviction to help, or gives you an unction to help, and that you have to have discernment to know that everybody is not for you to help. You know, there's specific people that he will send, will help this one and help that one, and then when you do, you don't worry about whether they're helping themselves or not. That's not your concern. That's God's. Leave the rest up to God. You know, yeah.
All right. So, to that question, did I encounter stereotype? Yes, I did, and it benefited me. And like it benefited me, but not the person, because like I had a guy come from Africa, a superintendent he came from Africa to work with our company, knew more than me. There was a language barrier because people wouldn't just take time to like slow down, listen. He had an accent, but he was still speaking English.
Yes.
And they didn't. So just because I could communicate with everybody who's in America, I was above him instead of him being above me. And he taught me so much stuff because he knew more than me, because they're working half of them working twice as hard as us over there to get here.
Say so.
Yeah. So and he taught me, and I would ask him questions and everything. Like, I tell my bosses, like, yo, this nigga's a genius. Like, for real. Long story short, I talked to him last week. So now I got power, like, in my company. So I called him back, and I was like, "You deserve more. Let's. This is why."
Nice.
And then I'm moving back to Orlando. So
That's awesome.
and he's gonna be in charge.
Hell yeah.
And he's probably gonna he may make more than me. I don't care because he deserves it. I don't know.
Nice.
But
Nice.
I'll still probably be in charge, but he'll make more than me. But he deserved that. He taught me.
Right.
And he was so humble. He was humble. He didn't care about. He's happy to be here.
Mm-hmm.
And I look at stuff like that. Like, I have a heart. I know I'm an asshole, but I got a heart. So yeah.
Struggle propels growth.
Yes.
Yeah.
No pain,
and
no
we
gain.
should all remember that. Even when the struggle's hard, find the growth in it. Find the growth in it.
Mm-hmm.
Reach for it. Because if you don't, then you just in the struggle, and then you're not growing. So like you said, Mister, you around the same people, all of y'all think the same. Has anyone stepped outside of this circle to see what it's like to just stand alone and think on your own? You know what I'm saying? You'd be surprised what you might find out about yourself, what you might learn. That's why people say too, and from centuries ago, it was important to go abroad.
Yes.
To go abroad so you can experience this where you are, out of where you are, and let that help you grow. Take it all in. And it exercises, it exercises our mind and our intelligence. The mind grows. The mind is going to start to spark. The lens, the eyes is going to take this in, and then it's going to spark the mind, and you're going to be sitting there like, what? So you're growing.
Yeah, I learn the most when I go on vacations. Just because I go to different spots, you learn the most. Because like you think they got it so great, but they don't. We all going through some shit.
And that's good that you said that, BU, because you said most people go. That's why people go on. Most people go. Well, what have you said? But going on vacation. Today, what I see is people go on vacation just to have fun and post it on social media that I was on this yacht and I was this and that. No one's really taking in the way it looks to me. They're not taking in the serenity and having the gratitude and thankfulness of that land that they're on. And some of them come back, didn't even learn anything about it. They just had fun.
That's true. Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
I like that. Last question, and before we go into the art facts for the day read by Lady Alva. Let me see which one I'm gonna pick for our last question, because we got a lot to choose.
But it's good to go on vacation and have fun. If you have a vacation, just have fun, because that's good to do too.
Hold on, let me add that in there for the people who want to beat me up later.
Okay, exactly.
Thank you for saying that. But I wanted to get this one in before we go to that. It says, what roles do you... No, that's not my question.
Your screen unjumped.
This is my question. Yes.
Okay.
What specific experience have shaped your views on inclusion in America?
That's a broad question.
Hey, hold up. You got to explain it to me.
Okay.
Explanation.
Has it been a specific experience that where it has shaped you to feel like you've been included in America or not?
Right.
First of all, not getting mobbed. So.
Not getting what?
Included here in America. Feeling included here in America. Feeling like you included in your community. Or not.
Yeah, I feel a bit like Lady Alvin said it earlier. I feel like I'm American. I'm born here. Like I grew up here. Like I'm here. Like I feel included. But when you separate hoods like Africa, then that's different. But yeah, I feel included. Yeah, I feel definitely included. And I was in the military. I fought for this country.
Right. So has it been a Pacific experience where
Military.
military? There you go. That's when you felt more inclusion. You know what I'm saying in America.
That's
It
when I
made you
learned. Yes,
go
that's
ahead.
when I learned the most about America when I
There
went
you
to the
go.
military, and I got security clearance that a lot of people don't get. You can't get those clearances. So yeah, that's when I learned the most about America, which it's fucking corrupted, but yeah, I was included. I
All right, respect, Lady Alva.
All right, repeat the question for me again, please.
Yes, ma'am, no problem. It says, has it been a Pacific experience? Has it says what Pacific experience have shaped your views on inclusion in America?
Well, it's two of them off the top of my head. And again, like I said, that's a broad question because it could be many, and I would say they are. But two of them that are close to me. One is HIV, and that finding out that there's still gaps of inclusion because it's still highly stigmatized, and the shocker within our own communities. You know, that's when it really hits home. Never mind the broader aspect of people, but then they're not to excuse them with that, because that's where the broader aspect is, where a lot you need that inclusion because you need that help or those services for whatever you need living with AIDS, HIV, right? And each person's situation differs, or some could be the same or similar. Yeah, but it was definitely deep when it come within your own community, your own people, and to realize that. And actually, before that even hits your lap, just it's already there. You kind of know it's already there. It exists already. But when it's not on your lap, it's not in your body, then you just don't pay mind to things that are not part of your fight. It has, what a tragedy, right? Keep that in mind. So, but when you have that experience, then you're like, oh, damn. Wow. So, with that being said, the secondary one that I learned is with the LGBTQ community, to where I come to an understanding that not just them, many of our cultures, whatever we're robbed from or whoever we say, this is how I am, indifferent, there's that goes against the grain of what is the normal human way to be, what is the foundation of being human, you know what I'm saying? Then you get you get casted out. No one wants to include you. So you have to find your own community or create a community to where not me and all you and all of us, we feel comfortable because at least we're inclusive with one another and embracing that. And also a person I started to understand, I didn't really like, and I still don't like it, how you treat a person without saying the letters that is homosexual or gay, lesbian. Back in the day they were called faggots, because someone, whatever's about them or in them with their characteristics or persona, is not your business to like or not to hate. You can dislike it, but you still should love, because we're all human.
Hey, that's
You
funny.
shouldn't be treating them any differently,
Hey,
because you
that's
can't
funny you
change
say
that.
that.
That's not your fight.
It's funny you say that, Lady Alva, because I got this friend AJ, and he's a fucking pain in my ass. But that's one of my best friends, Mister. You know AJ. And like you said, love. When I get off the phone with him, if I don't tell, he says I love you every time. And then if I don't tell him I love you, it's a fucking problem. But he says that because he said people are, and I do tell him I love him because I do love him. That's my brother.
Nice.
A brother from another mother, and he's white. But he says people are so afraid of people thinking they're gay that they can't be themselves. That's exactly what he told me.
Yeah.
And I was like,
yeah,
bro,
nice.
I love you, bro. Hey,
Mhm.
I love Mister. You know that,
Mhm.
shit like that. And I love you, but people are so afraid of what other people think, though.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And he took me to shout him out, so I shout him
Shout out.
out.
And shout out all our viewers, man. Everybody in the comments, everybody watching back home,
Yeah.
everybody that listen on the audio versions, man. We see you. I watch some comments add up every day. Don't think I don't see y'all over there just because y'all downloading and watching on the go and listening on the go, should I say.
Mhm.
And we do see the views that go up after the people come back and watch the show later. Man, we appreciate all that. Don't think that shit goes unnoticed, yo. And we still giving out those discounts. Y'all can still go to our Arthur Chain page. Still got 10 to 15% off at the Molly Bees or at Patriot Water or at Old Glory. All on the official Arthur Chain podcast page on Instagram. If you go to the highlight section, you can go to any one of those websites and get anywhere between 10 to 15% off the entire website, and that's for all of Arthur Chain's listeners. You know what I'm saying? That's just a small token of us giving back to you guys.
Hey,
go ahead.
to what BU said about telling his homie he loves him, and he said you can't get off the phone with me unless you say it. Look up Josh Johnson because he has a comedy thing or act where he's talking about the people. I think he said he saw it on TikTok, but guys are calling their homies saying, yo, man, I just called to say goodnight. Like, sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. I love you. And a homie on the other end, like, yo, what's going on, man? They got you? Why you calling me to tell me that? It's a different variations that he gives you. Like, and one of them is like the homies on the stuck on other end, like, yo, my dude gay or something? Like, what you trying to tell me? He don't never say it direct, but yo, what you trying to say? What you mean? Good night? What? So, but his thing is, imagine if
Mr. ever told me he loved me, I'm gonna say I love you too, bro. Like, nigga, I love you right now. So that shit real simple.
Yeah. Simple. So it's a nice look into to be comfortable. Like, I agree with you, you like what in your skin that way, or you're gonna just be this persona of macho, like, nah. So
Lady Ava, you want to run those
absolutely
run those art facts?
Fun art facts and historical events for March 5th. 1733, William Hogarth sketches Sarah Malcolm, a convicted murderer, in her condemned cell. He later publishes an engraving based on this. 1743, birth of Jean-Simon Barthélemy, a noted French history painter. 1968, a musical chess match occurs between Marcel Duchamp and John Cage, blending art with performance. Oh, that sounds interesting. 1896, the first performance of Claude Debussy's Prelude à la Après-midi d'un Fond. I think I got that right. Which influenced Impressionist, art and music. 1946, the first edition of Life magazine featuring photography as a pivotal art form is published. 1946. Have y'all ever seen the Life magazine?
Yeah, I've seen the Life magazine.
Yeah.
I know that the first edition was published in 46.
Yeah. I don't even know. I actually, like, is it still going? I don't even know.
That's a good question. I don't think Man, I haven't seen any magazine lately.
No, yeah, since
Where
it's
the hell you
yeah,
can get a magazine? That's the real question.
exactly. Right. Oh shoot. All right. So
You was at number
1963, the
6.
opening
Yeah.
of the first Art of the Underground project in London marks a significant moment for public art.
How about that?
1985, the Whitney Museum of American Art in New York opens an exposition focused on African American artists. Nice.
Huh.
2000, the Guggenheim Museum launches a landmark exhibition on contemporary African art. 2014, the first major retrospective of African American artist Kerry James Marshall opens, highlighting his contributions to contemporary art.
Hmm.
2018, the Art of Video Games exhibit opens at the Smithsonian American Art Museum, showcasing video games as a modern art form. Well,
Look at that.
yeah, look at that. I think back in the day when they started, for sure. But maybe
It
so
says
now I'm just
2000.
not into it.
It said 2018. So it
Yeah,
says 2018, the Art of Video Games exhibit
yeah, yeah.
at
So
the
what's that?
Smithsonian.
Mario Brothers. No, that's even before 2018. Let me see. Yeah, no, Mario Brothers go back before then. Luigi.
Yeah, oh, that's way before then.
Yeah, yeah. So what came out in
Celebrity.
2018? Y'all not neither one of y'all are gamers?
Oh, I'm not a
No,
big
It's
but
gamer. If my
it's a
brother was on here,
museum.
he'd tell you. But yeah, he was saying it's a
mm-hmm,
museum of considering art as video gaming as an art. Look,
mm-hmm.
run those celebrity birthdays, Lady Albert.
All right. For March 5th, we have Penn Jillette, born 1955, magician and actor. Eva Mendez, born 1974, actress and model. Madison Beer, born 1999, singer and social media personality. Rami Schneider, born 1938, French actress known for her roles in European cinema. Michael Irvin, born 1966, former professional football player and sports commentator.
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
It
Hey.
is.
And shouts out to all my
It
March 5th
is.
birthdays. What's that? Pisces? We in Pisces right now? Shouts out to all
Uh
the Pisces.
yes. So yes, I got a special one. Happy birthday to my baby girl, Kaisha Jolan Morris, coming up March 9th.
Yes,
No
yes.
matter
Shouts out,
what,
baby girl.
mom loves.
Yes,
Happy
yes. Our
birthday
for
to my
change.
father, coming up March 13th. And no
Hey,
matter what, same to him.
That's my aunt's birthday, March 13th. My aunt.
Mhm.
All right.
Shouts
All
out to
right.
the aunt.
Auntie
Shouts out
Rhonda.
to the daughter.
She ratchet. She had like a Lady Albert. She
Thank you.
crazy.
Uh, 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 before we get up out of here, panel, do y'all want to go around and have something positive for the people?
With the talks we had, like I mean, like what I say, you can you can you can learn from everybody. You can learn what not to do, and what to do. You can learn a
Yes,
lot from a homeless person,
yes.
but don't be negative about learning.
Woo. There you go, Lady Alva. What you got for the people?
I bite the apple because it's the core of me, but it's not based on simplicity.
I bite the apple because it's the core of me, but it's not based on simplicity. I like that. I
Mhm.
like that. And I'm gonna close it out with this, man. Education is elevation, folks. So
Hey.
um, learn something and read something. You know what I'm saying? Reading is fundamental. Uh, don't just lean on what you heard. Go fact check the fact checker. You know, absolutely. You know what I mean? Elevation is
Mhm.
growth. You know what I mean? And until
Mhm.
next time, man, y'all better be great. And if you're going to art, make sure that you arting for change. We appreciate you locking in with the gang. Tell your friends, your cousin, your aunties, your mama, your sister, look, art for change is in. You feel me? Your boyfriend, all them, man. Come over here. Listen, we always have special guests on. Tonight we was just kicking it with the gang. But we always have different people on with different perspective and always have artists of different volumes and different disciplines of art. So you never know what you're gonna get over here at Art for Change, man. So hit that bell, like, subscribe, and tell a friend that Art for Change is in. Until again, Art for change, peace and love, and we out, gang.
Be Trump.